Welcome to section 16.1, part 1. This is the 164th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll cover the foundational habits that keep daily operations secure. We'll answer several questions. Why do security operations exist at all? What is the difference between need to know and least privilege? How does separation of duties stop fraud? What are two-person control and split knowledge? How do job rotation and mandatory vacations protect you? And why is due care the thread tying it all together? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because these are the controls you enforce every single week. Picture a payment processor where one engineer holds every key to production. Picture a warehouse where the same clerk orders stock and signs the checks. Get these foundations right, and no single person can quietly wreck or rob the organization. Get them wrong, and one bad actor or one honest slip can take everything down. So why do security operations exist in the first place? They exist to safeguard your assets day after day. That means your information, your systems, your devices, your facilities, and your applications. Operations is the ongoing work of spotting threats, finding weaknesses, and putting controls in place to shrink the risk. Think of it as the maintenance crew for a bridge. The bridge was engineered well, but someone still has to inspect the bolts every day. Without that steady attention, small problems grow into collapses. What is the difference between need to know and least privilege? People use them interchangeably, but the exam draws a line. Need to know is about data. It grants you access only to the specific information your job requires, and nothing more. Least privilege is broader. It covers both data and the rights to perform system actions. Picture a hospital. Need to know says a nurse sees only her own patient's charts. Least privilege adds that she can read those charts but cannot reformat the server. One limits what you see, the other limits what you can do. How does need to know actually keep secrets safe? By shrinking the circle of people who know. The fewer people hold a secret, the smaller the chance it leaks. And here is a subtlety the exam loves. A security clearance is not a golden ticket. Someone cleared to see sensitive material still only gets the specific pieces their role demands. Think of a spy agency. Being cleared to a level opens the door, but an officer still only receives the files tied to a current mission. Clearance plus need to know, not clearance alone. Why does least privilege matter so much in practice? Because excess access is a loaded weapon. When everyday users run as full administrators, one careless click can delete critical data. Worse, if that overprivileged account catches malware, the malware inherits every one of those powers. The same trap hits service accounts that run applications. Give them full control they never needed, and a compromised app hands an attacker the crown jewels. Grant only what the task requires, and you cap the damage from any single mistake. How does separation of duties stop fraud? By making sure no one person controls a critical function end-to-end. Split the process. And a single bad actor cannot pull off a scheme alone. To cheat, two or more people would have to collude, which is harder to arrange and easier to catch. Picture a concert venue. One worker sells wristbands and another checks them at the gate. If the same person did both, they could wave friends in for free or pocket the cash. Separate the roles, and the fraud needs a conspiracy. What about the security and administrative side of separation? The same logic applies to your most powerful controls. You divide administration and security responsibilities across several trusted people. That way, no single administrator can quietly disable a safeguard and cover their tracks. Think of a nuclear plant control room. No one operator can bypass every interlock alone. Spread the power, and you remove the single point where one person could unravel the whole defense. So let's bring it together. Security operations exist to safeguard your assets through steady, everyday care. Need to know limits the data you can see, and least privilege limits both data and actions. Separation of duties splits critical work, so fraud requires collusion, and it also spreads administrative power. Underneath all of it sits due care and due diligence, the reasonable, ongoing effort that reduces both real losses and management's liability. Master these habits, and the rest of operations builds cleanly on top. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.